So, honorable members, I know this is a unique meeting in the sense that this is the first meeting where we are having a sitting governor and a former governor attending. So I request that we strictly observe the provisions of our standing orders so that we have this meeting productive. So I look forward to your cooperation. Honorable members, before we commence this meeting, we will proceed to an important part, which is the administration of oath of witness and the tabling of documents. And in this case, the governor, the current governor, you take the oath on behalf of your executive, and the former governor, you will also take the oath. So the clerk, please guide accordingly.
I, Julius Malombe, Governor for Kitui, do solemnly swear that the evidence that I shall give before this committee in respect of the matters before the committee shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God.
Very well. Can we also have Honorable Charity Ngilu?
I, Charity Ngilu, do solemnly swear that the evidence that I shall give before this committee in respect of the matters before the committee shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Very well. Honorable members, I know we have summons that were issued to a few other people. This is Dr. Justus Macau. We have Mr. Henry Mutua Kimanzi, and we are, yes, those particular ones. I think they will take the oath at the appropriate time. But for now, you are aware that on the 19th of September 2024, this committee summoned Honorable Charity Ngilu to appear before the committee on the 7th of October 2024 to provide responses to the issues raised by the Auditor General on the financial statements of Kitui County Textile Center for the financial years 2019-2020, 2020-2021, and 2021-2022. At its sitting held on the 7th of October 2024, the committee noted that Honorable Charity Ngilu had failed to honor the summons issued by the committee. Consequently, and pursuant to Section 19 of the Parliamentary Powers and Privileges Act, Cap 6, the committee resolved to impose a fine of 500,000 shillings to be paid in her personal capacity on or before Wednesday, 13th November 2024. This is therefore to inform of the resolution of the committee, where you are required to pay the fine by way of a banker's check issued in favor of the Senate and submitted to the office of the clerk of the Senate, first floor, main Parliament building, Nairobi. So can I find out from Honorable Ngilu whether the fine has been paid or not?
Honorable Senator, Mr. Chair.
Yes.
That fine has not been paid. And Mr. Chair, I was going to request that I never really saw the summons that was sent to me. And indeed, Mr. Chair, I even nearly didn't get these summons, even for today. And it's because the summons I eventually learned came through my WhatsApp message. And the social media, you know, Mr. Chair, how crowded it is with trash, and especially those who are who have been working as politicians, you included. I'm sure you get a lot of it. And therefore, I didn't see it, and most importantly, that it didn't come from a recognized number. And therefore, first and foremost, Mr. Chair, it is just that I didn't get it. Therefore, I regret my not having been here on that 7th. But eventually, when I got, eventually this one that came from one of the clerks, and who I saw a number, and I called, I said, who is this? And then he told me, I'm the clerk. I said, what is it, clerk where? And he explained to me, and I said I would come. And only when I put his number on my phone, I could see it. And Mr. Chair, may I also tell you there are many times in some areas where I am now that I don't even get any networks. So, Mr. Chair, it was not intended to really make the committee look like I did not honor it. And that's the reason why, number one. Number two, Mr. Chair, I also could not afford that money. As you're aware, I'm not having any job right now. And even if I wanted, quite honestly, I'm very serious about this, really. But that even if I wanted, I would have wished to do so, Mr. Chair. So I really would like to ask you and the entire committee to appreciate and understand the reason why that happened.
Okay, I know you have a point to raise, but before you do so, I think let's find out from the clerk how the summons were served. Clerk, can you tell the committee how you served the summons?
Chair, the summons are served through our legal department, so I request the legal to make a comment.
Chair, I can confirm that indeed the summons were served through WhatsApp, and this was done in accordance with the provisions of Order 5, Rule 22B of the Civil Procedure Amendment Rules 2020. So yes, that's how the summons were served. No. They were served through the legal clerk of the department.
Chairman, because it's
Senator Ojenda, you are a senior lawyer, please.
the only legal person here. You are my student, so the teacher is talking now. Chair, barring service, she has referred to Order 5. I have no doubt, Chair, that proceedings of this nature, and before the committee arrives at a finding that is almost quasi-criminal, because we are punishing the former governor of Kitui County to pay a fine of
over 500,000 shillings, Mr. Chair, we should ensure as a committee that she has that information. One, that she has deliberately defied or refused to attend to the summons of the committee. Chair, where it is clear and the legal people have confirmed that service was not personal, it was through WhatsApp, and where the governor seems to have confirmed that she was either not on call or did not see the summons, it is imperative that then we revert to where we were before. And where we were before is that the governor did not receive the summons or had not been served. It is appropriate, Chair, with the plea of the governor, and I'm stating this not because I'm a counsel, but because I'm a senior counsel, that this is an appropriate situation where you set aside, where the committee sets aside orders, where the committee directs that indeed the committee ought not only to waive but to set aside the directions fining the former governor 500,000 shillings. I know she can pay. I don't think 500,000 is anything that would do. That is pocket change. But, Chair, on the fundamental basis that she was never served, it is only fair that this fine be set aside and be waived so that, and Chair, the second point is that the governor has come. Finally, she has said, upon receiving a proper invite from the clerk, she's here today. Chair, let us deal with the issue. Let us set aside this fine so that we release the governor. The governor seems to be law-abiding. She understands the nature of this committee and the powers of this committee. That's my submission, Chair. Let us set aside. Legal has confirmed that they sent a WhatsApp through an unknown number. She doesn't even know who sent the WhatsApp. That's my position.
I will listen to all the members and then I will give direction. Can we have Senator Wambua?
Thank you, Chair. I wanted Senator Tom to hear this before he leaves. He has said things that cannot go unchallenged. Chair, you should also take judicial notice that Tom has consistently failed to attend these meetings, especially on this matter, but today he just appears, makes a comment and disappears. Chair, take judicial notice of that. And then you will also decide whether to admit his submissions or not to admit his submissions. Chair, if we're being fair, because we should be fair, we must be fair, then we should have found out from legal whether they use the same mode of invitation for this appearance as they did for the first one. If you can establish that, then, Chair, you will have an easier decision to make. So if legal can confirm to us that they used the same mode and medium of communication to the former governor in the first instance and the second instance, now, then it will be easier for us to make a decision. I thank you, Chair.
Senator Mutinda, and by the way, you look like the former governor. Proceed.
Thank you, Chair. You know, also I'm a child of Kitui County. That's my motherland. I'm proud of it. Now, Chair, on the same matter on the floor, I echo the sentiments of the Senator for Kitui to also get to understand from legal so that we also set a precedence in future when we invite other former governors in such a scenario. Then how, this is the third summon former Governor Ngilu. And so, did you never ever, through the chair to the legal, never receive any communication from the beginning and from the onset? Because the current governor of Kitui, Malombe, is appearing for the third time on the issue of Kikote, and the previous two, we seek that you be here. So, we are just curious that either they didn't have your number all this particular time, or really what transpired. Legal.
Maybe just to correct you, the first instant, she was not summoned to be here because the expectation was that the governor would, the sitting governor would respond to the issues. It is only the second time and now that she was expected to be here. So, legal, can I hear from you?
Yes, Chair, we can confirm that service for this current summons was done in the same manner, the same mode through WhatsApp. And this was done because the person serving the summons.
That is the aircon for this building. It is faulty. Proceed.
Yes, the reason why the summons were done via WhatsApp is because the person serving the summons was unable to find the physical address. And so yes, we can confirm that the second summons were again sent through the WhatsApp, yes. The same number? Yes, the same number.
Yeah, Senator Cherege, you are not a member of the committee, but he has come as an observer. He doesn't want to put himself on record. So, Senator Ledam.
I think, Mr. Chairman, I was looking at the Powers and Privileges Act, Section 18 and 19. Summons of a witness.
Mr. Chair,
There are two.
pardon me. You know why that air condition is making so much noise? Because the windows are open. Maybe you close them so that it can be air conditioned inside.
Yeah.
Sergeant Adam, that's your... Proceed, Senator Olekina.
I think, Mr. Chairman, even before I look at the Powers and Privileges Act, I'd like to confirm from the governor on whether she uses the same number or she has two numbers. I know as politicians, we tend to have two numbers. And how many WhatsApp messages she receives in a day. Mr. Chairman, if I open my WhatsApp, I think I have like probably, right now I have like probably 2,400 messages unread from different groups and also different people. So I'd like to confirm from the governor whether she uses the same number, she continued using the same number when she left office, and whether she has two numbers, and also which number was used to send the summons, that is from the clerk, and whether the governor still uses that number. Then it will make sense to me.
Governor, proceed.
Yes, Honorable Chair, I have only one line. And that's the line I've always had since I got a number in some, when they came into the country. And it is true, I received too many messages. Right now, and I can share this with you, Chair, on the WhatsApp message, I've got unread and some already wrapped, 1,800. And I have I rarely look at, especially if your name is not here, I rarely look. In my email, and you can look at it, it's 1,281. But I know, and I can say here, Honorable Chair, my physical address is known very well. My Kitui home is just across from the, in fact, the sitting governor passes through my home every morning. Every morning the road is like this, my home is here. And so is everybody in the county, they know it. My other home, which of course now is here in Nairobi, is also known. So I do, and my email is known. And a letter would get to my PO box number. I still think that really it was not served properly, and maybe also this is something that it can be considered in future. And even a call would have helped, Mr. Chair. So I have only one time.
Mr. Chairman, if I may interject, but I know there are other queries which were asked by my colleagues. Maybe if the governor can answer those queries first, and then I can then raise my other issue.
Very well. Proceed, Governor.
Yes, it was asked whether, again, it's the same number used and it's the same process that was used. Yes. How did I then know this time? This time, actually, it came from somebody from Kitui who called me and told me, what is this Senate asking you about Gikotek? And I said, what? He said, yes, they are. But I said, ignore. Actually, I told the person, ignore. Then I saw this number. There's one number that called, and I saw it in particular, and I somehow picked it, and I said, who is this? Sometimes I pick, and the person told me, I am Tangaya, and I'm calling from the clerk's office of the Senate. And I said, what is it about? And he said, you know, we have sent you a summons from this committee. I said, when did you say? And that's only when I put his number on my phone and everything then picked, and then I saw it. Otherwise, I would have been asking, and I just come and say, I hear you have invited me. That's what I would have done, Mr. Chair. I hear you have invited me.
Just on the same chair, just a quick clarity. On the
I
same
really
subject.
don't want us to spend a lot of time on this.
This determines if the senator, if the honorable governor.
Proceed.
Thank you, because this determines if she's going to pay the 500 or not, if we don't expedite this correctly. I'm just curious because in her first submissions, she explained that she rarely receives, calls that she has not saved in a number. But you're really still not convincing the committee as to why you just picked this one particular phone call.
It called severally.
Okay.
And sometimes, in your position and my position, you may think there's some agency somewhere. And then I called back just to say, what is this? I didn't know the number. It's even a number that is not a normal number. There are these numbers that are not even normal. So, what do I mean by normal, Mr. Chair? The old numbers, the 0722. Those ones those are the ones. And also, there are other numbers that you call, I call you from an office. Today, the government offices are still 020, then the number. And when you see that one, maybe coming from a particular office. So this one, that's what happened.
Mr. Chairman, if you allow me, we have got two issues to deal with here. Number one, legal has clearly indicated that under the civil procedure rules, I think rule order 5, WhatsApp is a means of summons, service, and that this summons was served through WhatsApp. Now the governor is alleging that she has not received the summons and that she eventually received them when she answered a phone call. This is an issue that we need to be able to deliberate on so that we know, because it will set a precedent on how we proceed as a committee. Because this is not the first former governor who will appear here through summons, through WhatsApp. And the governor has also raised issues that her home is known. So I would like to request that through, Mr. Chairman, that we deliberate on this matter for 5 minutes as a committee so that we know how to proceed. Because there are two issues here. the governor said she has not been summoned. She never received a summons. She has also said that even if she did receive the summons, she would not have been able to pay the 500,000. So there are two issues that we need to be able to deal with. That it can set a precedent on how we proceed on future summons. So, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to request, if it's possible, we have an in-camera session of the committee and deliberate on this matter, and then make a decision on it so that we can be able to proceed on other matters. Because this is unprecedented, and it is going to inform how we proceed with future summons. Whether the committee decides to go a particular way, or whether the committee, because nothing stops us from determining as this committee that summons shall continue being served through WhatsApp, just like the courts determine it. So I seek indulgence on that matter.
Chair.
Okay. Proceed.
So, Chair, before you make a ruling on the request by Senator Olekina, I have 2 or 3 issues to raise. One, first of all, we are challenging our own mode of operation. The Senate is sitting here challenging its own procedures. So take note of that, Chair. Secondly, and because you were in the chamber with me yesterday, Chair, when issues of the dignity of the House came up, especially the relationship between plenary and committees with governors, county governors, and that matter came up yesterday. This committee must never be seen to be abetting the worsening of those relationships or the worsening of the status and dignity of the Senate. Chair, you all know, all of us know here, Senator Olekina knows this even better than I do, that unless it is absolutely necessary with the determination of the chair or the speaker, all parliamentary sittings are supposed to be public. What is it that this committee is supposed to treat and decide on its own ruling? That the chair, as the senator for Kitui, and this I want everybody in this house to get very, very clearly. This matter came here because the auditors raised the red flag. Chair, I want you to hear this. This matter came here because the auditors raised the red flag. It did not come here because anybody, me or anybody, pushed it to come here. It's a public interest issue. The matter we are dealing with now of fine, Chair, if you ask me, it's really neither here nor there. The Senator of Kitui is not interested in getting the former governor to pay 500,000 shillings. It is not coming to me. In fact, I would rather that money stays in Kitui because she would do a few things in Kitui with that money. But this committee has made a decision, Chair, has made a ruling. Chair, give this Senate, this committee, the dignity that is due to it, and you have done a good thing. Chair, I must congratulate you. I think this is the first time that a former governor is appearing before a Senate committee to deal with audit queries, to my recollection. This is the first time to my recollection. It's a good precedent you're setting. Now don't mess it up with a side issue. You have ruled on the matter. If then you agree to deal with this matter in plenary, first of all, as a friend of the committee, I'll be out of that plenary. I'll come back and listen to the decision. Secondly, Chair, what you'll have done is you will have allowed every other governor that is summoned to come and raise objections on the summons, and then the committee must sit back and decide on whether. I've not cast any aspersions on this committee. Senator Miraj, with due respect, I'm a ranking member in this house. What due respect? I can tell you from where I sit, I have information that you don't have, that there is no precedent that you're setting by renegotiating this. This is not the first time that summons have been issued and fines have been imposed. They have been imposed before. In fact, for information, a fine has been imposed before on the same former governor. That is information maybe you don't have. So it's nothing new. I mean, and I'm saying, if then every time a fine is imposed, then committees will have now to retreat and decide whether to get the fine paid or not paid. That is the bad precedent I'm talking about. I'm not casting any aspersions. I cannot cast any aspersions on the commission.
Chair, we were with Senator Fokitui here when we were issuing that second summons. And that was the direction that to give, even if you can ask our Hansard to give out that recording, then it is only fair for him to allow this committee, him as a friend, and I acknowledge that he's a ranking member. I'm just giving direction as a member who was here on that sitting.
Okay.
That we had an agreement.
Let me give Senator Olekina and then I give direction.
Yeah. Mr. Chairman, Section 19 of our parliamentary powers and privileges reads as follows. Where witness someone does not appear or appear but fails to satisfy a relevant House of Parliament or committee, the relevant House of Parliament or committee may impose upon the witness such fine not exceeding 500,000 shillings, having regard to the witness' condition in life and the circumstances of the case. Mr. Chairman, I still reiterate that it is imperative for us, given that this is unprecedented, for us to deliberate, because this will affect how we deal with summons in future for other governors. We have the court standings in terms of how someone shall be served. Or we have also, we sit in this committee as a quasi-judicial house under Article 125. So we need to be able to balance those two things. And I reiterate that it says may impose. It also says a person may pay the fine under subsection 1 to the clerk of the relevant house. So there is a may, it is not shall. So, Mr. Chairman, I request that we deliberate on this matter with the assistance from the legal department so that we know how to proceed further. The circumstances of this governor notwithstanding, because it is imperative that we know how to proceed. The governor, the former governor, has raised an issue that we need to deliberate on so that we know how to proceed. If the committee chooses to stand by its summons and fines, that will be the decision of the committee. If the committee chooses to entertain and acknowledge her condition and her situation, then that also will be able to allow us to proceed further. So, Mr. Chairman.
Very well. Honorable members, I do not want... Yes.
Mr. Chair, by the way, we also know through WhatsApp, you can check whether somebody has received or has seen your message and on time. So I think here you may also go back and check, because it will show you whether somebody has read a message or not. And therefore, through the same number, the legal department can go back and see whether I actually opened and whether I saw it, because I just didn't say it.
Well, honorable members, you know, we need to make progress. We have a substantive agenda we need to cover, and we are spending so much time on the preliminaries. Let me direct this way. Honorable members, as rightly said by Senator Miraj, we have on many occasions retreated to consult where we feel that we need to do it outside our witnesses and other stakeholders. I see that there are matters which are more internal attached to this one regarding the way the summons were done. And we wouldn't want to really discuss our own weaknesses in terms of the way the processes was done, as suggested by Senator Wambua. So I want to direct that we consult for 5 minutes in the consultation room and come back to give direction. Yeah, I've already made the ruling. Let's just consult all these issues you are raising. We can discuss them there.
To regard to our ruling, Chair, because I think I'm part of that membership, I just wanted to ask Charity, the last summon, as you were the standing governor then, when you were summoned to Senate, the 500, did you pay or did not pay? I'm just curious on that, at that particular time.
I think that can be found. That can be found in the records of the Senate.
No, I'm just asking a simple question so that we are able to make a good decision.
Yeah.
At that particular previous time, did you pay the 500 or did not pay? Just that.
And again here, Honorable Senator,
Yes.
it is how these summons are brought. Sometimes, you know, you invite the governor through an office. Please, there is also, I think, Honorable Chair, there is a way that we can also...
I'm just trying to understand the last time. Did you pay or did not pay? Just that.
You can just get to that answer.
Just, it's a yes or no.
Yes or no. What is the problem?
It will guide us in this decision that we are retreating.
You know, I really want us to manage our time well.
That's okay, Chair. It's a yes or no answer. I mean, what is the problem? And it's not even about someone.
Okay,
about the payment
okay.
of the
Let's give Honorable Ngilu time. When we come back, she can give us an answer. So because we are wasting time, honorable members. Understand? My hands are tied when it comes to managing time.
So, Clark and Ngilu, this is what
appear or appears but fails to satisfy the relevant House of Parliament or committee, the relevant House or committee may impose upon not exceeding 500,000 shillings, having regard to the witness condition in life of the case. So the committee has looked at the two issues, the witness condition in life and the circumstances of the case, and the committee on Kitui County Tax November 2024. Maybe you can sign a copy of the same. And it
Governor, I note that your accounts look like a personal account.
Some consultations we are doing. Number one, we were asked to ensure, if you look at the, we were requested to make sure the officers who are complied with that. The two officers who took the oath to during the deliberations which took place when we met the following. One, certified bank statement since inception. Signatories for financial years 2019, 2020, 2020, 2021, and 2021, 2022. And 2018, 2019, 2019, 2020, and 2020, 2020. 68,608,000
to be 20. What the current governor has done is to provide a summary based on what we asked. It's provided, it said that time for you to go and verify this. This is a very simple question. The initial stages, it is 168 million. You've raised queries. And then you respond.
Thank you, through Chair. I was responding now to the specific information which has been submitted now, but our queries were based on our verification of the same, the information given, which I agree we had, and our queries were based on that.
where the figure of 168 has appeared, and you were there when I would like you to give a reflection on the submissions that have been made on the 168 million.
Sure. Chair, can I just, before my colleague write on this, $48,285,385. In the notes of the financial statements, can you or not factual? Subsequent to that, if you go to the salaries and wages, it has said that salaries and wages were 22,413. Now, that question relates to a second question that we ask. The current governor has summarized the withdrawal of money by Georgina to be 27 million. And in the their comparison, are we now looking at bananas and pineapples? Because this is what has been summarized.